Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Cfsp Certified Feng Shui Professional Online Training Program. And I'm James J. And along with me is
Helen J.
my lovely wife. And we're going to, over the course of the next 4 or 5 weeks, go through the certification program with you. And I always want to start our classes by honoring our teacher, Professor Thomas Lin Yun, who without him, none of us actually would be studying Feng Shui, because he's really the person who brought it to the West. And so without him, other teachers wouldn't have come to other places and taught. But he did it out of a sense of compassion, because he's, he was a devout Buddhist and felt that the West needed Feng Shui. Before him, all the Feng Shui masters kept it very secret. So I always want to start by honoring him. And then I also want to honor you for choosing to do something that is so honorable, which is helping other people. And the bottom line of Feng Shui is that we can help people gain more support in their life through their environment. And a couple things I wanted to get across right up front here is that you should close your email, your Facebook, turn your phone off. You want to get rid of anything that distracts you, because it's so easy when you're doing an online thing to just say, oh, I got to check my email real quick, or I want to see what somebody's posted on Facebook or something, and then it'll distract you from what's actually being taught. So I recommend doing that. It's an intensive format, so there's a lot of information that's going to be coming your way. So you're going to want to take a lot of notes. And the first 2 sessions are a general overview of the entire subject of Feng Shui. So there's no particular printed notes to go along with this part. After these first 2 sessions, then when we drill down really deeply into understanding the Bagua, the 5 elements, yin and yang, the Lo Shu square, all of the foundational information upon which all the schools of Feng Shui are built, then you'll have printed out notes to follow along with everything we're doing. It's also good to network with other students.
And again, I just want to take this moment to thank each and every one of you for considering the career of a Feng Shui practitioner. This is a wonderful career where you'll be able to help bring peace to other people, to their homes, to their businesses, and that's something that is so needed in this world at this time, and there is plenty of work for everyone. So once you have all this information, go out there and help as many people as you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to go through an outline of what we'll learn. Now this is broken down into 5 parts, because we normally teach a 5-day. Hey, there you are, Nancy.
Ah, okay. I don't know what I did.
That's okay.
Can you see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the screen all right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to reduce this then. Okay, great. So normally we teach this as a 5-day intensive, 5 days straight in a row. But we're breaking this course up into 8 parts. Actually, it's going to be a little longer, the online version, so you get a little bit more. But I'm going to go through what we normally go through on each day. So bear in mind that this would be like 2 sessions. So today is our introduction, and we'll talk about what certification is. What is Feng Shui certification? What is the role of a professional Feng Shui consultant? What are the potential markets for Feng Shui? And then we'll do an overview of all of the underlying concepts of all the schools of Feng Shui. So there are various schools of Feng Shui. This school, particular school, happens to be the BTB school of Feng Shui, which stands for Black Sect, or Black Branch, yeah, of Tibetan Buddhist Feng Shui. And that's kind of a mouthful, but it simply means that Chinese Feng Shui and Tibetan mysticism were combined over 1,000 years ago to create a really, really potent and powerful form of Feng Shui. And the Black Branch of Tibetan Buddhism were the ones that had the responsibility of doing the mystical practices. So anyway, I'll talk more about that later. but I just wanted to mention that. We'll talk about, you know, what certification is, what your role is, what are the potential markets for your skills, and we'll do the basic overview. As I said, we'll compare the different schools of Feng Shui, and then we'll also go over the 9 main categories of Feng Shui solutions. So that'll be in the first 2 sessions, and then in the 3rd session, we'll really drill down into the Bagua, because it's my firm belief that as a professional Feng Shui practitioner, you have to really understand why things are the way they are. And what I mean by that is, somebody may say, you know, why is that particular corner my wealth corner? Well, there's a reason for it. And why is it in that location? Well, there's a reason for that. And you can really only understand the Bagua by really delving into these 8 trigrams. So we'll do that on the 3rd session. And then we'll do practice aligning the Bagua over floor plans, different types of buildings. We'll talk about the 3-part activation process, which is probably one of the most important things in Feng Shui that we do with every Feng Shui solution. We'll talk about the red envelope tradition. And then we'll do a room-by-room analysis. So in other words, what do you do at the front door? What do you do in the living room? What do you do in the parlor? What do you do with the bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchens and offices? So it just there's, you know, specific rules that deal with each area of our buildings and our land. Then the 3rd section, which would be on day 6 of our online program, then we'll really get into understanding the 5 elements. Now, the 5 elements, by knowing and understanding the 5 elements, you can create the most powerful Feng Shui cures, rather than just, you know, hanging wind chimes and crystals and flutes everywhere for Feng Shui cures. The 5 elements takes it to a much deeper level, and you really, as a professional, need to really understand all the relationships between the elements. Then we'll create cures using the 5 elements. And then we'll spend some time on space clearing. Now, space clearing has become a very important niche in the Feng Shui world. And some people focus just on space clearing. And we have some very, very powerful techniques. We have one technique called the exterior qi adjustment. And then we have an interior space clearing. Very, very powerful. We'll talk about the most important cures for wealth and relationships. And then we'll get into applying Feng Shui to your landscape, to your gardens, to your yards, to the outside of your home, your exterior. And again, that's another very important niche market within the Feng Shui world. Then the last, let's see, day 4 here in this one, we'll get into the Lo Shu Square. Now that's another integral part of really understanding, you know, everything we're doing in Feng Shui and why things are located where they are. We'll also talk about the 9-star path, which forms the basis of our interior space clearing adjustment. We'll do some I Ching divination. So we'll really get into the I Ching. The I Ching is part and parcel with everything we do in Feng Shui. And we can almost say that Feng Shui and the I Ching, you can't separate the two. So the I Ching is very, very powerful. And you can use the I Ching to get guidance in your life, to ask about consultations, you know, for just about anything. So it's a very, very powerful tool. Then we'll get into some dowsing. And if you're not familiar with dowsing, that just means being able to access information that may be invisible to your eye. Then the last couple sessions, we'll talk a little bit about BTB meditations, and then how to set up a successful professional practice of Feng Shui. We'll get into, you know, advertising, online marketing, how you can connect with people, you know, where are you going to get your clients? So because that's a very important part of this whole process. We'll talk about developing your marketing materials, where you can buy Feng Shui cures and solutions wholesale. So it's nice if you can have Feng Shui cures that you can actually then sell to your clients, because a lot of times they may have a hard time finding them. We'll talk about using client handouts, and then talk a little bit about doing a Feng Shui report. And generally, when Helen and I do a Feng Shui consultation, we will take photos along the way and then integrate those photos into a report to give to our clients. And we found that that's become a very, very effective way of helping people sort of have a roadmap on what they need to do when you've, prescribed certain cures. And then I'll talk about what is called the report assignment. So certification, now this is a certification course, and it's recognized by the International Feng Shui Guild. So by completing this course, you're a certified Feng Shui professional. There's 3 parts to it. The first part is you have to either show up to each of these classes or view the online video recording shortly after. And then each week there'll be a quiz on all the material that we've covered during the week. And you can use your notes, you can use your books for that. So you need to pass that, of course. And then the final part is that after the course is finished, you'll be responsible to do 2 Feng Shui reports. And I actually give you templates for that. It's simple to do. And I know a lot of people that are starting out don't already have clients. So you can actually do a Feng Shui analysis for a friend, or you can even do your own home. That's fine with me. But you need to do 2. So you need to do a residential and a commercial. And by commercial, you could do your home office as well too. And each one, you'll give a minimum of 3 cures. So we'll talk more about that after. But it's very simple. You can, like I said, a lot of people just do their own home, so they get it done right away. And then once I receive that, then you receive your certification. And one thing I highly recommend people do is also join the International Feng Shui Guild, because it really is the main professional Feng Shui organization in the world. And by joining that, it gives you another level of professionalism. So I'm a strong believer in keeping the Feng Shui, the level of professionalism very high. And as this is what they consider a gold school in the International Feng Shui Guild, that's why you have to do the 2 reports. That's one of the requirements to them recognizing you as a professional. Now, the Feng Shui Guild also has a test that if you choose to take it, it's an online test, then you become what they call a red ribbon professional. And that gives you a lot of credibility. So I recommend people do that. And I was on the committee that wrote the test, so most of my students have no trouble passing it. So a lot of the information you get through this course is going to be involved in that as well. Any questions up to this point?
No.
Okay.
I'm okay. When I signed on, I turned the telephone off, and when I turned the telephone off, I lost the voice, and I missed about 3 or 4 minutes of what you were saying. So
okay, well, you can review that after.
I'll watch it later.
Okay. So I'm glad it's working for you now. And I know there's only 3 of us on right now, but there's a lot of people that will be watching the video, because the times and whatnot is difficult for everybody to be here at the same time. But I will record each one, so have no fear. And then once you're certified, we'll also send you the Cfsp logo file, so you can use this logo on all your marketing materials, your business cards, whatever you want. And you can put it on your website. And we'll talk about internet marketing too, because that's a big, big, important part of everything we do now, really. So you can put it on your website. Okay, so what is the role of a Feng Shui practitioner?